Local and state lawmakers are locked in a debate about what should be the future of Alamo Plaza, what it should look like. But a News 4 San Antonio investigation is also making those leaders consider now what is below ground.
Businesses at Alamo Plaza all have basements that actually extend underneath the sidewalks.
And tonight, News 4 San Antonio's Emily Baucum shows you why some believe those sidewalks could collapse and what the city's doing about it in a story you'll see only on 4.
The Alamo is the top tourist attraction in Texas, with more than 2.5 million people a year walking in the footsteps of history. And you can see the wear and tear on the sidewalks around Alamo Plaza, decades-old skylights showing their age.
I'd just like to be rid of them.
George Thorpe is a longtime employee at the Christian Service Center, where he's seen the foot traffic cause the glass to chip and even fall out.
They're a tripping hazard, and somebody can walk along, especially with heels on or something, and have a problem with that. Yeah.
So what's underneath the skylight? Watch as our camera goes down one of those holes, revealing the basement of a nearby bar.
When we get a good rain, they make a mess down in the basement.
As Thorpe continues his morning walk, we check out one of those basements, the one right underneath the sidewalk where we were just standing.
And this is similar to many sidewalks that you find in the downtown area.
Mark Eberwine, an independent real estate inspector, explains this basement was once part of a coal pit to fuel furnaces, later covered and converted into a sidewalk.
So this is one of the decorative blocks that that was installed by the city many years ago.
Eberwine immediately spots red flags that convince him the sidewalk could collapse.
If we look at this particular area right here, what you'll see is that the I-beams are considerably degraded. They're rusted, corroded to the point where there is a lack of load-bearing capacity in this area.
But what worries Eberwine the most isn't down here. It's up there. You can see the shadows through the skylight of tourists walking down the sidewalk.
You know, 1 or 2 people walking across here, I feel comfortable with us standing under here. But there are groups of tourists that walk in large groups, and it just is going to be bad news one day.
In this basement, the property owner added steel reinforcements, but sidewalks up and down Alamo Plaza are damaged.
This needs a complete revamping.
And who would foot the bill for such costly repairs?
Well, I think it's kind of a toss-up, really. It's public sidewalk, of course, which I would think would put it in the city's jurisdiction, but then again, it is part of our property too, because we have the basement underneath.
So to find a solution, we showed our video to Councilman Roberto Trevino, who represents the area.
Yeah, that should be treated wood, if anything.
He's also an architect.
That's steel, it's rusted.
And Trevino told us the structural damage concerns him greatly.
I will look into it, and I appreciate you showing me that video.
Since then, the city boarded up the skylights, then patched up the holes with non-shrink grout.
This is all over our downtown.
Trevino says city staff is meeting with property owners and looking for a more durable solution.
To try to figure something out collaboratively.
Thorpe hopes the city takes financial responsibility.
It would be nice if they'd maybe split the cost, yes.
For the sidewalks that literally bear the weight of our tourism industry.
While it's still unclear who will ultimately pay, we've learned tonight that Councilman Trevino plans to enlist the help of his fellow architects to make these sidewalks safer for all of us. He says the local chapter of the American Institute of Architects will generate sketches, redesigns that the city has promised to consider. Reporting downtown, Emily Baucum, News 4 San Antonio.